Yeah, that's the one that's on that's on YouTube. Yeah. Close. May say close that door.
Hey, y'all got to bring that down next day. Okay, y'all not see it right. You can either come up soon, please. Okay, you gotta go. Okay, yes.
We got another 30 seconds delay.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Right. Did you? Okay.
I'm good.
It's going. Okay. Right.
Hmm.
Okay. We live at 3, 2, 1.
Welcome to the Not So Christian and Me show. I'm your host, Southern Girl Denise, and today we have another popping show. Today's guest is no stranger to the Not So Christian and Me show platform. He actually been on our platform 2 different times. He was interviewed by 2 other members on our team at one of his events. So without further ado, please help me welcome the legendary, the CEO of the Legendary Spirits in the building, Broderick T. Robertson. Woo, woo, woo.
Listen, thanks for
How
having
you
me.
doing? How you
I'm doing
doing?
good.
That's good. That's good.
And so I want to first start off by saying thank you for
No
bringing me
problem.
back
No,
again. Yes,
no problem. No
but y'all started with us the second tasting that we did, which was at OST Liquor.
Okay, I
And we did the
remember.
first interview, and since then we've grown a lot. You've grown a
Yes,
lot.
that's true.
If I'm not mistaken, you got a award or a day from
Oh
the mayor.
yes, I did.
Sylvester
Yes,
Turner, that's
yes, we
huge.
did. Thank you.
Yeah,
Thank you.
that's
Yeah, it is
huge.
huge. It is huge.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So-
proclamation. Thank
Yes,
you.
absolutely.
Yeah.
So I'm ready.
That's
Okay.
good. So what have you been up to? 'Cause like you said, it's been a minute since I've seen you. And I want to thank you too for sponsoring our liquor for our wedding.
Yes,
Yes,
yes.
so
You know,
thank you
that
so
was the
much.
very least I could do. I wish I
Yeah.
could have actually
Mhm.
made the wedding, but my
Mhm.
schedule is crazy. But what we've done, or the different projects that we got going on, actually, I'm gonna just break it down this way.
Okay.
So we're in the process of actually scoring a major deal. So hopefully that'll happen before the end of the quarter. So we're really going to be taking national. We actually made national our first 8 months. We've been on the market for almost 15 months now, but within 8 months we made national. If we broker this deal, looks very good, we'll go nationwide.
Oh wow.
So that's the
Wow.
biggest thing. Another thing is
Good.
we're starting to do a lot of more events outside of Houston. You know, we're in the LA market, we're in the South Florida
Mhm.
market, New York and New Jersey, but we're starting to expand to, we're looking at some stuff in Las Vegas
Okay.
and Colorado, and Georgia has always been there. So
Mhm.
yeah, I
Those some
definitely.
big markets right there. Those states that you listed. So that's good that you're hitting it hard with those, and then everything else will just come into place. You know, they'll line up.
Yes, it's a lot of hard work, but we're
Yeah.
for the task, so I have no complaints.
Well, that's good. That's
Yeah,
good.
other than the traffic getting here, so y'all don't know this. I'm sorry, go ahead.
Because you coming from the south side?
So I'm coming from for those who's not familiar with Houston, I'm coming from Katy, you know, the west side.
Ooh, he's coming.
And so it took, how many freeways to get here? Maybe 4, and every
Oh, my
last one I was
God,
backed
backed
up.
up.
Like,
So, you know, for those who don't know, we're in, like he was saying, we're in Houston, and the Astros won yesterday, so everybody's kind of like amped up because they're in the playoffs. So that has a lot to do with the traffic too in Houston.
Yes, that is true. Now, you may notice I have on a Rangers hat. Now, I do support the Astros, but most people don't know that I'm originally from Fort Worth.
Oh,
So
okay.
this is my home team, so I'm not
Okay.
here to hate. Like, I
So,
don't.
hey, you're not trying to hate.
Oh, no. Yeah, not
Yeah.
for me. No,
Yeah.
but no, shout out to the Astros. I think they will have a chance to go to the World Series, and
Yeah.
hopefully they'll bring home another trophy. So we'll see.
Absolutely. We shooting for Astros to win. So keep up the good work, Astros.
Absolutely.
So for those who don't know about your story, about how you became the CEO of Legendary Spirits, tell us a little bit about your journey and how it started from the beginning to now.
Yeah, so the original concept of why I thought about even creating a liquor brand
Mhm.
started when I was in the music industry. So
Okay.
I was a minority owner for about 8 years of an underground label,
Mhm.
and I was also the general manager. So one day I talked to the other owners, they were the majority owners, and I mentioned to them, I said, you know what, we would probably do really well if we, do some type of liquor brand or something like that, because I wanted to maximize the opportunity. Because if we go out and do a show, okay, that's great, you get the
Yeah.
show money. But at that particular time, but it's definitely changed now. You didn't have access to the door money. You didn't have access to the parking lot money. But one thing we could do is we could have something behind the bar. You can have the drink money because if
Yeah.
you perform a show and you say, hey, everybody go get, whatever alcohol,
Mhm.
the sales go up. And so that idea it was basically put on pause for a while. And so I don't think I've ever said this part on camera though, but I was working for a corporate company and
Okay,
I
he
felt,
said pause. What happened? Just when it was getting good. He was saying, he ain't never said this on camera.
Keep that
For
thought.
those who are tuning in live, stick with us. Hang in there, because we got two cameras going on over here.
Gotcha.
'Cause he about to break us some good news. So, so
well,
hold that
I hope
thought.
so. I hope that someone can actually benefit from that.
Yeah, yeah.
My experience. So we are still live on this.
Yeah, so we're still live on this.
Okay,
This
gotcha.
one. Thank you guys for tuning in out there in the social
Absolutely.
media world. We appreciate you guys for tuning in. Thank you so much.
Absolutely. I love the setup. I really do. I am
Thank
extremely
you.
comfortable. It is.
That's
It is
good.
very
It's
nice.
very relaxing.
Yes, it is.
So I forgot where we left off. I know
Wait,
you was getting ready to
so-
break some breaking news.
Haven't
so-
said it on camera.
Yeah. So I
Yeah.
worked for a company for I was in corporate America,
Okay.
14 and a half years. But I would say halfway through going through the corporate world, I had a low point, like in terms of I've always been an entrepreneur. That's just who I am.
So you had the spirit, entrepreneur spirit. In
Yeah,
you.
and so I felt like, working for the job, and they provided a lot of opportunities, so I wouldn't say anything about the company per se. But what I noticed, it wasn't gratifying to me because that wasn't really what I was.
Yeah.
So I have to be able to create or, have an opportunity to do something in business where I can actually explore like my talents. And so I said that to say, once I reached that low point, I've had no creativity in me whatsoever. But this young lady, she and we're still really good friends today. She had reminded me, said, "Hey, when are you gonna do like a liquor brand or something like that?" And I hadn't thought about it in years at that
Yeah.
point. And I was like, you know what? I did say that, but I don't really know if I'm gonna do that. And we just had a maybe a 30-minute conversation, and from that point, it just ignited something. And then I was like, you know what? Well, maybe I should do it.
Yeah.
And so what I did was, and for people who's watching this, let me give you something of value. Because a lot of people, I get this question a lot. How do I start my own liquor brand? Well, the first thing I'm going to tell you is this: study your liquor laws first. There is no substitute for hard work. You can't just fast track it. You have to put in the work, and it doesn't begin when everybody else knows you got a brand. See, this started a long time ago, and so I say I like to say this. That's what I did. I looked at it and said, okay, you know what? I'm going to put in 4 years of studying because I looked at, getting a bachelor's, which I have a bachelor's degree at Prairie A&M. Shout out to the best university in the world. PVA, and so I looked at it like a bachelor's. I said, okay, I'm going to put in the 4 years of studying. And when I did that, and basically the rest was history. And so we started constructing the team. Shout out to Michael Sterling, Marquise Wallace. Our starting lineup and Legendair is CC, Dale, Rose, Tanya. I don't want to leave nobody out.
Yeah.
Princess, because they got on me about that before.
Yeah.
Lance, Cassandra, and I think I got everybody. But I couldn't be sitting here if it weren't for them.
It takes a strong team.
Yes, they are awesome, and all the many supporters just throughout the states, and that's too many to name. But
Right.
so that's how we got there. Well, let me make this story even more interesting. So the name Legendair, that's another question I get. So at the time, I was thinking about making, bringing a liquor to the forefront. I couldn't think of any names.
Yeah.
What I did was I talked to my son because at that time I thought we were going to create a vodka. The idea was to design a brand that would be give you an imported feel, but it was going to be domestically made. So some of your best vodkas come from France. So what I did was I asked him, I said, just throw out some names for me and I'm gonna translate it. I used Google Translate.
Yeah.
And when I did it, he said legendary. And then I translated and the way the French say it is called Legendair. And I
Okay.
say, so wait, you know what? That's dope. I
Yeah.
said, I like that. And so we went with Legendair and it just kind of, it just felt right.
Yeah.
But then we had a problem because we were trying to do a vodka. And then when I sat down with my guy who was in Florida at the time, he said, you know what? You're doing everything right, but we got the wrong product. I was like, well, what do you mean? He said, if you go into specs, when you go back home in Texas, you go down those roads and you tell me how many vodkas you're gonna see. And I said, I can tell you that now. I'll see like, probably good 200-300. So that's the problem. Now he said, how long is it gonna take you to get Legendaire off the ground? Because why would I not go get Tito's? Why would I not go get Ciroc? So that's a good point. So we literally brainstormed and we decided to come up with an idea that wasn't on the market. I'm gonna give you another tip too. If you're looking at this, what I ended up thinking about is if we go with something that's not on the market and we nail the product, you can create your own customer base because now you're offering something to your customers that nobody else can.
Yeah.
And so if you look at the progress of what we've been so far, making national 8 months, I don't take that for granted, but that's part of the reason why. Because you can't go get it anywhere else.
Right. Have you thought about still branching out and doing a vodka later on?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Absolutely. I'll tell you this as well. I don't think I've ever said this on camera. We do have plans on opening a distillery here in Houston.
Okay.
Now that's going to take a little time because if you know anything about even trying to create a building, let alone bringing alcohol, it's going to take some time. But that is the goal to have it here in Houston.
I'm glad.
But this is where we're headquartered.
Okay, good. I was just going to say, I'm glad that you decided to make Houston the home base.
Oh, absolutely. This is where I'm at. This is where my son's at. Well, he's about to go to college.
Yeah.
I think he's going to be here, but we're working on it now.
Yeah.
And yeah, I've enjoyed the time I've been in Houston. Like I said, I'm from Fort Worth originally. I've been down here for about 23 years now. I love it. Like I do. I've got a lot of friends, business associates. Yeah, this is where I want to be. I'll travel where I want to go. So.
Now, Fort Worth, are you going to do anything in Fort Worth since that's where you were born and raised?
Yeah, so with that one, that's gonna be more. Well, we're gonna continue to do like our events or whatever. But in terms of the city, that is a very good question. So we're gonna come up, and I'm hoping to launch this next year. Okay, so.
He's gonna launch it because he's talking about it on the Not So Christian to Me show.
Yeah,
and everything that's said on the Not So Christian to Me show, for instance, and it comes to pass. So it is gonna happen. Putting it out there in the universe.
Yeah, and just knowing me, I'm not just gonna say it.
Yeah.
I guess I can say this because it's actually in print.
Okay.
So what we're gonna do is we're gonna launch a nonprofit organization. Okay, and it's gonna be called Legendair Cares.
Okay.
We're hoping to launch that next year, and when that happens, going back to the Fort Worth question, Fort Worth, where I'm from, it lacks the opportunity. So what Legendary Cares is going to be, the overall of it, is just basically helping to build our communities back, because and we'll talk off camera with this one because I don't want to give away all my details because I don't know any liquor brands that's doing it. I'm not saying they don't. I don't know. And so I think we're on to something big. So that will be the avenue we would take to get back to Fort Worth.
I like that. And I like that you said give back. The very first time I talked to you, and it brings us to today's topic, paying it forward. You mentioned paying it forward over the phone. Tell my viewers and listeners, what does paying it forward mean to you?
So one of the things that I live by in paying it forward is this. See, there were so many sacrifices for me, for you, for all of us to get to where we are today. Right? Someone had to sacrifice. So when you pay it forward, because you can't pay them back, what you do, you set up opportunities for the generation that's coming behind you. Exactly. So that's my definition of it. That's part of the reason why we're doing the Legendary Cares. There's other businesses we want to do, but the core being of what we're going to do with Legendary, and even just me, I want to set up opportunities for our communities. And I think it comes in various ways. It comes with being able to partner with, companies and businesses or whatever. So it's gonna take a lot, and I know what I'm saying is
Yeah.
massive, but if we don't do it, who's gonna do it?
That's true.
We're, and I'm just speaking now, mainly black and brown communities. We are who we're waiting on. See, and another thing, and I'm gonna say this, and don't send me no message, but just hear what I'm saying. We have to start supporting us, like business wise, and our business owners. We need to start supporting our communities. It is a reciprocity. So you can't do one way and not the other. We're who we're waiting on. I'm lucky enough to meet businesses that's like that, but it's gonna take that community to get behind us, and then we got an obligation to get back. That's really what it's about. And see, we don't have to wait on no one.
Right.
Right.
It's very important for our youth to see that
Absolutely.
there's other people that's like them, that's succeeding. And so, what you're doing, that's awesome. And I know you probably have other, people in your family members looking up to you to set the standard for them.
Yeah. I'll answer just like that. Yes, I do.
Yeah.
But it comes with what it is, right?
Absolutely.
So
Do you have any children?
I do. My son, who,
Okay. Right, you did say your son.
yeah, so he's a graduating senior this year. We've gone on quite a few campus tours, and
Okay.
so we got quite a few more to go.
Good.
So I'm actually excited for him because I know what it's like when you go off to college and you're not quite out in the world yet, but you got the responsibility and just the whole idea of living on campus is a totally different experience.
Yes,
But
it is.
that's my only son,
Okay.
and so and he lives with me full time, by the way, too. So I'm just super excited that we got to this point.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So he's gonna go forward in the business with you after he?
Oh, absolutely. He is going to be the heir to it, and then Marquise's son as well. He'll be an heir to it. So we're gonna pass this down.
Yeah.
And I'll say this is just to kind of add to that. Hennessy is my second favorite drink.
Okay.
I'm sure you could guess the first. And one day when I was looking at, I was just doing some research or whatever, and I noticed on the bottle it says 1765. And as many bottles as I bought prior, I never really locked in on it until that day. I'm gonna tell you what. Now I know what it means to them, but what it meant to me was, so how many of their families and generations was actually able to benefit since 1765? So I knew at that point, Legendair, once we get this where it's going, this can never be sold, because how many generations gonna benefit here?
That's true.
So that's just to piggyback off what you
That's
said.
good. That's deep
Yeah.
right there. That is
Yeah.
something to think about. Now let's talk about your peach rum. Like,
Yes.
how did that come about?
So as I mentioned earlier, we sat down and we thought about we thought about all kinds.
Right. 'Cause
Yeah.
you could have had several different rums, but why peach? You know.
So okay, now peach, it's I don't know, but when you add peach to like to like liquor, I don't know what it is, but if you add any fruit, peach seems to be the thing that's going to like kind of jump at you, right?
Yeah.
And so now I know that there's other peach flavored, there are a couple of peach flavored rums, and then you got, whiskeys or whatever. So I said, well, we got to go further than that because that's still not different.
Yeah.
And then when we sat down and I made the comment, I said, well, what do we like? Because at first I was just looking at our region.
Yeah.
So what do we like in the South? And I was like, we like a bunch of stuff. I was like, it ain't like you can make no peach barbecue rum or nothing like that.
Yeah.
So when I got to tea, and then I was like, wait, Legendair peach tea. I was like, wait, is there any peach teas out there? And of course, that's not something that's so foreign that we've never heard of.
Yeah.
But when it comes to liquor, I was like, no, I don't. So we did a lot of research on that, and we were like, no, there's none nowhere. And if they are, they so underground,
Yeah.
nobody sees them. So then we had to make the decision on, okay, well, do we still go with vodka? I said, oh no, that's the way. And then we thought about a bourbon. It's like, oh no, that still doesn't do it. because what I wanted to do is make sure that it's so smooth when it goes down, and I didn't want any aftertaste. And so I said the only way we can really capture it, it has to be a rum. Because if you do like a tequila or whatever, you're gonna get it. Like you're gonna get the aftertaste, you're gonna get the, you know, the burn is what we call it.
Right.
So I was like, it gotta be a rum. And now there's two versions of Legendary Peach and Rum out there. We're only using one, which is another thing. We got the anniversary bottles is out there with the red label. It's the same thing.
Mm-hmm.
The only difference is we got a limited quantity of those, just marking out 1 year anniversary brand on the market. And so, but there's two versions. The first version is very good, but it is more 80 proof, 40%, and that's what you would mainly use if you're trying to like cut it, you know, when you say that.
Yeah.
But the 60 proof that's out there, see, that's the one I was like, that's gonna do it. So don't be surprised to come out with that second version. And hey, let's
It's gonna hit harder and it's smooth, man. You can't beat that.
yeah, so yeah, I'm just excited, you know.
I'm excited for you guys.
God is good, you
Yeah,
know.
God is good. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Keep doing your thing. I'm proud of you. I'm
Thank you.
watching you progress throughout the years. I'm like, you was featured. Your liquor was featured in the movie that my cousin was in. Fair Play. I actually made a cameo in that movie in Fair Play.
And you know what? And I was going to stop by. Let me tell you. First of all, I appreciate your patience because I'm not always the quickest in responding to stuff, and that's not by by design. It's just it's a lot. So I appreciate your patience, but I was actually going to come there because I was going to surprise and come there. I'm like, oh, we're going to be there, and I could not make it. I was like, But yes, you're right. It's in there. There's a couple of other Houston movies that it's in. There's another one actually. MTV actually put up the budget for this one. It's going to be a hip hop Christmas that they're going to launch. They got Legendary in it. It got
wow, that's big. That's really big.
It got some celebrities. I want to say
I'm with the CEO, y'all.
yeah,
Put it out there now.
I know Method Man is one. I want to
Oh
say.
yeah, I go way back with Method Man. I used to work with him all the time on different award shows.
Well, there you go. When you get him on the phone, say, hey, did you see the Legendary in this movie? And he'll let you know. But it was quite a few other celebrities. I don't get hooked up in that. I got relationships with the celebrities, but I'm still me.
Yeah,
I'm still on.
You have to stay humble in this industry.
Yes.
And so many things coming at you all the time. Have anybody came up to you and say, man, you took my idea? And like have an argument with you.
So how they've said it, I have heard this a couple of times. It was like, you know what? I was thinking about something like that myself. Now, okay, and don't send me nothing on this one either. I was thinking to myself, I wanted to tell them, well, the reason you didn't do it is because you didn't believe it enough. Because if you did, you're gonna go and do what you have to do, and you should have beat me first. And I'm glad you didn't. So
right. Now, have you ever got discouraged at the beginning stages trying to put all this together?
Yes, I did. Now, but let me say this too, because the way I believe that you have to look at it, like business as a whole, is we have a plan, you have your business plan, you have your marketing plan, you have all these plans, but you cannot plan for every scenario. So give yourself an opportunity to grow from whatever it is that's not working. So example, when we put a plan together and we say, you know what, we're gonna sell 100 bottles in the next 10 days, as just an example. And let's say we fall short and we sell 70. Well, the idea there, which I like to do, I may start out being frustrated, like, man, we didn't get, the opportunity to sell 100. But then what I look at is this, okay, now how did we fall short? Can we figure out what we could have done to bridge the gap? Because when you do that, like when you start looking at it that way, what you're really doing is you're starting to build like the business in the sense, okay, things you didn't think about, now I'm aware of it. Now, how do we fix it? Always, if you're going to be in business, always look at an opportunity. How can we fix it? Not that it's a problem. Because in business and life in general, you always going to have issues. That will never cease. But how can I fix it? Or do I know someone that can help me, or the team, or how can we get this resolved?
Yeah.
That's what you should be looking for, because you're always making steps. When you get past that speed bump,
Yeah.
you're going to the next one, and you're gonna get past that one. And next thing you know, you look back, you're like, man, we done really moved.
Yeah.
But that you gotta look at it like that.
Wow, that's some valuable information
Yeah.
that you just gave us. He's been dropping these nuggets for you guys, so I hope you guys are taking notes.
Yeah, I was gonna come here and you know, just for people that's looking at
Yeah.
this, you didn't give me any questions. I didn't know
Right,
what
this
it
is
was.
just, yeah.
But I
We
know-
freestyling this thing.
Yeah, yeah, for real.
Regular conversation, that's what this show is all about,
Yeah.
just relax and have fun and, be knowledgeable, give people the knowledge that they need and try to help people succeed. That's what it's all about.
Yeah, and I love that title when you said pay it forward. I said, oh, I'm definitely gonna
Yeah,
make sure that
yeah.
I give information that I feel like that will help
Yeah.
someone, because I know it's difficult, because, especially when you trying to start out and people don't really want to give you a chance and they kind of overlook you and all that kind of stuff. It's like, well, I'm gonna make sure that when we do this, well, first of all, just on the strength of you and Larry,
Yeah.
I wanted to make sure that I was gonna give information that somebody can use. I wasn't gonna just hold it and be like, well, you just do these 10 steps.
Yeah.
Well, what's in between the 10
Yeah,
steps?
yeah.
You know?
What's after the 10 steps,
Exactly. So,
Well, that's good. That's good, because we definitely need people like that to spread that knowledge on our platform, because that's what it's all about. Tell our viewers where they can find you on social media so they can support you.
Okay, so what you can do, if you're on Instagram, you can go to Legendair Spirits. On Facebook is actually the same thing, at Legendair Spirits. My personal page is Legendair. I should spell it for you guys. It's LEGENDAIRE. .co. That's my personal one. And so also you can go to the website, which is www.legendairspirits.com, and and check us out. And since we're there, you can go and visit Total Wines. We are, if you're here in Houston, you go to Total Wines, you go to OST, you go to Royalties Liquor, you can go to Uptown Liquor. Basically,
you guys are added on some stores.
Yeah, we got quite a few. And if you're in the California market, Florida, New York, New Jersey, you can pick it up there. We got another 8 more states that's coming. So check us out on Instagram, because it's a lot, and we appreciate all the support, and we are obligated to support back, just so you know.
Absolutely. Now, before you go, could you give anybody some advice who's looking to go in the same direction that you're going in the liquor business before we go?
So I'll go back to what I said initially, then I'll add something to that.
Okay.
The first thing is, like I mentioned, study your liquor laws, because the reason I say that first, that will give you insight on how or what you may be facing in terms of like getting this stuff started. The second thing is, find you a mentor.
Yeah.
Because that is extremely important, because a mentor, what they'll be able to do is to help you not make certain mistakes. And so the less mistakes you can make, the better off you're going to be, and you can go on, watch your business. Now, if you follow me on social media and say, hey, can you mentor me? It really, I'm going to be honest about it. It really depends on where you are with it. Because I don't send me nothing and say, hey, listen, I want to start this brand. And then you expect me to tell you everything, because, I'm a nice guy, but I'm direct too. I ain't gonna do it. I'm not gonna do it. So it depends on where you are, so.
Okay. Can you shout out one person that paid it forward for you to get you to where you at today? One person, this one person that you can think
I was just
of.
gonna say, because there would be no justice at all if I do just one, but nobody can dispute this one. My mother, who
I
lives
figured you was gonna say.
Oh, absolutely. Because I was raised in a single parent home. My mother, Sylvia Allen, who's in Fort Worth, she is a huge supporter, if not my number one supporter. And to be honest with you, a lot of the stuff that I do is actually because of her. Like, in a sense, not that she necessarily told me to do this or do that, but I just look at it and say, she, going back to what I was saying earlier, she sacrificed a lot.
Yeah.
So now I got an obligation to maximize the opportunity.
Absolutely. Well, thank you so much, Broderick, for being our special guest. We pray that God will lead you in the right direction, open up more doors, whatever you got on your plate, God is going to fulfill all of that for you. And so you have all of our support here at the Nassau Christian and Me Show.
I appreciate it.
Until next time, you guys, no matter what you guys are going through, stay blessed up because God will see you through. All right. Bye-bye. Bye, you guys. All right. Let me press the exit. Thank y'all.